All right, you know what it is. This right here is going to be part two. This going to be part two of the Jersey call, and I'm going to speak on man time so you understand how men do. All right, this part two on the Jersey call, and part two when I gave you the story the other day about Lewisburg and the situation. All right. All right, you know what it is. Unique Mecca Audio, man. I'm here, you know what I mean? And I'm going to give you the part two on the Jersey car situation, but at the same time, I'm going to implement some rules, lessons, and things of that nature so that you all understand when I say man time, what does man time mean and where we at. Now, so I left off with the Jersey car, right? Before I even get into that, though, let me just say this. First of all, I want to apologize to anybody that took it in the wrong manner when I gave that story about the Jersey car. You know what I mean? Like I always tell y'all when y'all act, the Jersey car is official. You know what I mean? They ain't nothing to play with. But, and y'all kept asking for the Jersey car stories, and I kept going around it because I wanted to make sure y'all was ready to really understand how this thing is. Remember how I told you that you got the Serenos out in California on the west side, and they the most structured on the west side, and they got everything together on the west side. You know what I mean? Where they all go out there together and things like that. Well, that's the West Coast. You know what I mean? Now on the East Coast, you got what they call, the Muslim car. You understand? But, let's get this right so that everybody understand. In the administration, within the prison, they like to label us as something. Like when I first went into prison, first thing they asked me is, where you from? You understand what I'm saying? I say, they say, you're from Virginia, so what do you run with, the Virginia car, the Dirty South car? I'm like, nah, I don't run with no Virginia car. I'm from New York. He said, oh, so you run with the New York car? I said, nah, I'm on a New York car. I went to school in Jersey. You know what I mean? They said, oh, so you with the Jersey car? I'm like, nah, I ain't with no car. I want y'all to understand where I'm going with this so you youngins really see what they doing. They try and put us all in some type of category so that they can separate the numbers. You understand? So they say, I'm for the Virginia car. If something happened with the people in Virginia, they're going to come grab, me and everyone else from Virginia. If I say I'm from New York, when they grab somebody from New York for whatever happened, they're going to grab me and everybody from New York, but they're not going to grab the people from Virginia. You understand? Or from D.C. or Maryland or Chicago or Tennessee or Timbuktu. So they want to just separate everything, because if we all come together as a collective unit and like the old days and say we're convicts, you know what I mean? They wouldn't have a problem. And the best example for that is the Muslim car. You know what I mean? I'm calling it a car, but it's not a car. That's just what they label it as. So let's get it together. You know what I mean? That's a religion that, you know what I mean? That's Islam. Just so y'all understand. I'm not going to get too deep into that part of it, but I just want you to understand that, you have the Muslim car. Now, same way you got the Serenos out in the West, you got the Muslims on the East. That's where the Muslim car consists of, when y'all keep asking about the Jersey car, you know what I mean? That's the Jersey car, you know what I mean? That's people from Jersey, that's Philly, that's Baltimore, that's Maryland. You understand what I'm saying? That's Virginia, that's, anybody that embrace Islam and take their Shahada, they become Muslim, and then they become a part of what the administration labels the Muslim car. You know what I mean? But you got in the Muslim car, I'm just going to use that terminology so you understand. You got the Muslim car is equivalent to like the Serenos out west. I'm going to compare the two so you understand. These are two big factions, but they're structures by elders. You understand what I'm saying? Where the elders, make the call. They make sure in Islam that's everybody stay on their deen to follow, the Quran. You understand? Then you got, the Serenos who got their structure and their guidelines that they go by. You understand what I'm saying? So don't get it confused and nitpick when I say words like guidelines, because the Muslim car don't run by no guidelines. Let's get that right. You know what I mean? Let's get that right. It's not guidelines. You know what I mean? They follow the deen. The deen is to follow the Quran. All right? So let's get that right. I'm not going to get into too much of that because I don't want to make this about religion, but I want you to understand that the administration try and separate it into two fractions. You know what I mean? So they try and break it down. But the Muslims is the strongest car on the East Coast. Let's get that straight. You know what I mean? That's the strongest car on the East Coast, and they're right up there with the DC car. And it's funny because I want y'all to understand, when the DC car, they took their whole federal system, their whole state system, which is really feds, because they consider Washington, D.C. as federal land. So you get in trouble in D.C., they consider it a federal charge. But you get in trouble in New York, Philly, you know what I mean, Chicago, wherever, you know, and that'll be a state charge, and you go to a state prison. But in D.C., you get in trouble. They had their own system, which was under the federal system. So what they did was, when they closed Lawton, they brought all those inmates from Lawton over into the feds. So could you imagine bringing all the state inmates from any one state and just flooding them into the feds? So now, you know, wherever you go, you're going to have more of that state. And that's how DC is so large. But then again, DC put that work in, so they represent the number. So whether they was, you know, the whole system or not, the DC brothers, they keep it 100 and they push that knife. You know what I mean? The same as the Muslim call. Now, like I said, don't get caught up. It's not the call, but I'm calling it that because we're in prison and this is the way they talk. So now you got the Muslim call and you got the elders. You know what I mean? Like I said in the Serenos, they got the elders. I want y'all to pay attention, give me y'all a little history lesson so you understand how this go. So you got the elders. Like, you know, there was a brother that I met, good brother, when I first got locked up in Lewisburg in 1994, October 17th. You know what I mean? When I got there, I met a brother named Shakur. I'm not gonna give his real name because he didn't let me not give him his real name, but we're gonna give him Shakur. That's his name, Brother Shakur. That was the imam when we was out there in Lewisburg. And he was trying to talk to me to calm me down to embrace Islam and take my shahada and, you know, follow the deen. You know what I mean? And I wasn't trying to hear that. The same way a lot of you youngins watching this ain't trying to hear what I'm saying, but, you know, you like the stories. You know what I mean? But, you know, Shakur used to, you know, give good hadith and all that, and, you know, always tried to give me something to read, but he didn't know that I couldn't read. But, you know, but he always tried to give me something to read. But he used to give me, I used to like to sit down and talk to him, and he'll break down different hadiths, and he'll break, you know, he was just a scholar. You know what I mean? Let's just put it that way. You know what I mean? But, you know, so now when I was telling you about the Jersey call, so you understand how this go. We have an imam. So the imam is the one that, as they say, you know, just using that terminology, you know, call the shots. You understand what I'm saying? Then, you know, that's like the president, the big kahuna. You know what I mean? So now, you know, the imam is the one who everybody go to because he's the wise one and things of that nature. So when I was speaking about the Jersey call, you know, that's why I want to apologize to anybody if they took it the wrong way. Because what I do with my stories, like I said, I try and deliver them unique. So I give you a little bit of story, and then, you know what I mean, I leave you on a cliffhanger and I'll come back. So if I left anybody on a cliffhanger to take the wrong impression of the Jersey call, being that that's what I labeled it. But like I said, Jersey run with Philly, New York, Baltimore, Maryland, because it's really the Muslim call. So that's why the car is so big, because, you know what I mean, we, you know, embrace each other and we there for each other. And as Muslims, we believe that the blood of a Muslim is sacred. You understand what I'm saying? And only Allah could judge us. So now when I was speaking on the situation that happened over at Lewisburg, where, you know, the young brothers getting into it, those was young brothers that at the time, we talking about 30 years ago, man. You know what I mean? Let's get this right. We talking about 30 years ago. That's why I can tell these stories and it ain't telling, it ain't none of that. And I still don't even say nobody's name. I just mentioned Shakur's name because that's my heart. You know what I mean? That's the first brother that tried to bring me into Islam, and I wasn't trying to hear it. Just like a lot of y'all out there running around with the extended clips ain't trying to hear it. But I tell you what, you know, watch Pooh Shiesty and how he transform, you know, while he's in there. You know what I mean? But just so you understand, you know, you got brother, when the thing happened with the Jersey call, like I said, it was early morning. Everybody was going to breakfast. So the elders didn't know what was going on. You follow me? So now, once the elders got up and they found out what went on, now this is just how prison is, man. Hit that like button, man. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the like button, subscribe button, you know. But this is how prison is. That's why I tell the youth, don't go there. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're going to have a group, and then you're going to have younger people in that group that, do their own thing. Like me, I'm a renegade. You know what I mean? So I wasn't trying to embrace Islam at the time because, I wanted to do me. And, if somebody violated, I didn't want to worry about, if he took his shahada, if he was a Muslim, or if he was a brother or whatever. If they violated, I wanted to get at them. But as a Muslim, you know what I mean? You do not spill the blood of another Muslim. You understand what I'm saying? Because that blood is sacred. You understand? That's how they believe. So now, so you understand. That's why so many brothers embrace it, because it comes with peace and unity. You understand what I'm saying? And not violence and madness. But they can perform violence and be very mad. You know what I mean? Just so you understand. Now, take time and care and pay attention and let me walk you through this. Let me do it my way. You know what I mean? But like I said, that's why I apologize for anybody that took it the wrong way. Because like the brothers, they went and checked in, but that's because they was all Muslim. You understand? They was all the New York car, the Jersey car. You understand? The Philly, the DC, the Maryland. You know what I mean? And some Virginia people as well. It went down as far as Virginia, North Carolina, because you had Muslims all over the place. You know what I mean? But when that happened, that was Muslim on Muslim, and they spilled another Muslim blood, and that's a violation. But only person could judge them for that is Allah. So now when the elders got up, you know what I mean? When the elders got up, they knew it was going to be all hell break loose, and it was going to be some type of repercussion for them violating each other in that manner when they supposed to know to stay on their deen and not spill the blood of another and to walk a righteous path. So now that's why the three brothers checked in. And like I said, the fourth one, he got transferred to Atlanta. So the three brothers got checked in, you know what I mean? Because they violated, and then now they had to get everything in order. And the imam had to talk to the rest of the committee and find out what was going on and what was going to happen. But under no circumstances, I don't want nobody to take away from this, what I said, the part one. Because, like I said, I like to leave a cliffhanger. You know what I mean? So I might pick a wrong cliffhanger or whatever. So, I apologize if y'all got it confused. But like I said, the Jersey car runs with the East Coast, like the East Coast thing, And, so my bag, the phone. So, that's where we at, man. But when you take a shahada, you're saying that, you're going to respect, Islam. You're going to respect your brother. And that's why if somebody told in the court, you understand? So you understand, if somebody told in the court, you understand what I'm saying? And that's why I say that all the time. Remember, I've been saying this since I've been home. If somebody told in the court, somebody's a rat, whatever you want to call it, we know what the names are, but I'm just trying to be politically correct. If somebody told and they come into the prison and they take their shahada and they embrace Islam, and they let the imam know and the person giving the shahada know that, they're not bringing any baggage. You know what I mean? Meaning they're not coming in just because they told or because they owe some money on the compound and they want the Muslims to protect them because the Muslims is the big, strong, unified group, for the blacks on the East Coast. You know what I mean? So, you got to question to make sure all that is right and make sure that he's sincere when he's saying he's taking the thing. Because we all make mistakes and, we have to repent for our things, but only Allah could judge us. That's why I said that as long as a man admits what he did, stands on what he did, you know what I mean? And, if he could sleep with himself at night, I'm good with it because only Allah could judge us. Just like I said about, anything you do, it's not up to me to judge it. I'm judging me. I'm governing me and my choices. You understand what I'm saying? But like I said, the Jersey car official, man, because the Jersey car run with the DC, the Philly, and, it's the Muslim car. And I'm talking about, you don't want to get into something where, the Muslims there because they got a whole security force. I ain't gonna break it down right now. I'll probably bring my big Sahaba up here, Big Shakur, and, maybe even Lou Sims and, and Bashir and everybody to come up here so that they, and Drew, bring the brothers to come up here so they could break it down. Because the same way I got a video getting ready to come where I interviewed white dude that was breaking out white politics, you know, in the prison. You know what I mean? White politics in the prison. So I got you a white guy. His name is Chad. You know what I mean? Chad Marks. He does Beyond the Razor Wire. I forgot what the title of the show is because I get it confused all the time with my accent. But I got a white guy coming on. Probably air that tomorrow. But any day now, I got Chad Marks coming on. You know, what is it? Behind the Razor Wire? I can't even think what it is. But make sure you get it. You know what I mean? You check it out. But that's the same way I'm going to bring the Muslim brothers on here so that they can break down Islam to you and let you know how it works. That it's not a gang. They're not into none of that. They keep the peace in the prison. Let's get that right. When they grab a young brother and bring him in, it's usually because he's an animal. All that wildness I was doing, you know what I mean? Selling dope in the prison, bringing dope in the prison, you know what I mean? Hitting up the police, you understand what I'm saying? Going to ADX, you know, spending all that time in the shoe, getting caught with knives, you know what I mean? Getting caught trying to bring, you know, drugs into prison. All this is documented. We talking about, like I said, 30 years ago. When I was doing all that, I wasn't trying to hear nothing. But once, you know, I took my Shahada and I got under the umbrella of Islam, you understand what I'm saying? That's where I calmed down and I wanted to take my time and really figure life out. You know what I mean? Instead of fighting my way, you know, out of life. You know what I mean? And that's what a lot of us did. We fought our way into the graveyard, you know? But once I embraced Islam in my heart, man, and I left everything in God's hands, it was no, I mean, I had no problems. Let me explain something to you. They get ready to transfer me because, you know, I done gave a dirty yawn, or, you know what I mean? Or I done bought some drugs in the institution, and now here they go, they're going to transfer me. And I'm telling my people, yo, call the region and tell the region they're trying to send me over here, but we're trying to get over here because I want to get closer to home because, you know, I got my family over here, this and that, you know what I mean? And then, you know, write a letter to them, call up here and ask for my unit manager, tell my unit manager, you see what I'm saying? I'm trying to dictate, you know what I mean? Allah's plan. Allah wanted me to get transferred so that I could better myself from trying to bring the drugs into prison or, you know, using the smoking the weed to wind up in the situation that I was in. But I'm trying to change the course and I'm trying to navigate, you know, my way through life instead of letting Allah navigate his way through life, you know, my way through life. Once I left everything in Allah's hands, you understand? That's when, you know, I made my salat and, you know, I did my rakat and I asked for forgiveness and, you know, I asked for guidance and, you know, where I need to go. And he came to me and told me, you know, go get your education. You understand? Learn to read, learn to write. You understand what I'm saying? Get a trade. These are the things, these are the thoughts that's coming after I embrace Islam. So you understand, man. You know what I mean? And these are the things that the brother Shakur was telling me from back in 1994. From 1994. That didn't click until about 2005. But that's what I'm saying. Like those same brothers that got into it with the Jersey situation, you know what I mean? That I was speaking about in the other video, you know, these was young brothers that was doing what, you know what I mean? What they felt, you know, they wanted to do instead of what the dean, you understand, wanted them to, you know, follow. You understand? So I'm trying to keep my words simplified, you know what I mean, for those that don't know so they understand. You know what I mean? So when you get people that act outside of that and they came in that, we're human, we make mistakes. We talking about 30 years ago. These brothers now today, you'll never believe, you know what I mean, what they're doing today. They got all types of legal businesses, they're home, they got themselves out of prison the same way I did. All that was from embracing Islam. All that was from embracing Islam, man. You know, once I left everything in Allah's hands, everything worked out perfectly. I call it like, you know, I let myself go, you know, like a leaf in the wind, and I just let the wind guide me, and that was Allah with the angels blowing under me to take me to where I wanted to go instead of me having to tell my people, call here and tell them where I want to go. I left it in God's hand to take me where He wanted me to go, instead of where I wanted to go. Could you understand that? You know, like I said, I try and give you a lot of jewels on here, man. That's why I say hit the like, man. Make sure you subscribe. And that's why I mentioned the Cash App. And I just break it down in different little ways so you understand. You go to a restaurant, you tip. You understand what I'm saying? Back in the day, we used to tip the gas station man because there wasn't credit cards for gas. You know what I mean? We go, we buy gas, we get $15 of gas, because it didn't cost nothing to fill a tanker back there. We get $15 of gas, we give the gas station attendant $1, $2. You know what I mean? Because he's the one pumping the gas. Now they got this self-pumping. Back then it wasn't no self-pumping because there wasn't no computers, but we gave tips. So I came from the generation where if somebody give you something that you like, a service you appreciate or you like, you give them a tip. You know what I mean? And nobody can tell you what to give them. You know what I mean? But the government done turned tipping into a business where they're telling you that if you go eat in a restaurant, you're supposed to give them 15% of, you know what I mean, whatever the bill is. Somebody told me in the comments. But picture me giving you 15% of something when I don't have it. You know, that's like you giving me a cash app when you don't have it. You know what I mean? I can't force you to give it to you, and the government shouldn't force you to tell you're supposed to give them 15% of whatever, you know, the bill is. You know, that's if you have it. You know, because that's what it is. A tip is a tip coming from you, from your generosity. So who should tell you? And put that in the comments, y'all. Let's debate that in the comments. You know, should there be a percentage number on how much tip a waitress should get? So being that they got a thing on the tip that a waitress should get, what is, you know, the percentage that a YouTuber should get? You know what I mean? But let's talk about it. But, you know, this is just really to have fun, man. I like to just teach y'all, you know, and enlighten. I'm going to say enlighten. I like to just enlighten y'all, you know what I mean, on different perspectives of life to try and prevent the youth from going there and just so everyone learn etiquette when they go out. And you see, I think I said it right now, etiquette. Susan Feinberg taught me that word. I'm still listening. You understand what I'm saying? Just like I listened over the tape that I did and I talked to a couple of my good brothers, you know what I mean? And, you know, I told him it wasn't sitting with me right, and I didn't want to cause any misconfusion. You understand what I'm saying? Because everybody says like the Jersey car, but the Jersey run with Philly, D.C., you know, Maryland. I mean, everybody, because it's all Muslim, you know, that took their shahada and they came together. And these are the brothers that want to better themselves. And we out here now. We out here now. And we're not forcing anything on anybody. And, you know, we still have our imams. You understand what I'm saying? That we, you know, look up to. You know, and we respect, you know, their judgment, you know, because those is our sahabas, those is the elders that's been through it, you know what I mean? And, you know, they're the voice of reason, you know? If you don't have structure in anything, look at the military, you know what I mean? Y'all probably don't know. I think the highest the military going, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, is a brigadier. It's a brigadier. They don't tell you about that. But then you got like, you know, a general, you got a captain, you got a sergeant, and these is chain of commands. You understand what I'm saying? So when you have structure, it have to be, you know, a force put in place to implement that. You understand? So now you go to prison. So I'm saying this for y'all to really understand, because you got no disrespect. You got these young dudes out there that's gangbanging, you know what I mean? Doing their thing. They're doing what, you know, what's in their environment and what they grew up with. Like we was drug dealing, so we was drug dealing crews. Now you got gangs. This is the way I'm seeing. I'm an old dinosaur. I've been gone 26 years. So if I'm wrong, y'all correct me on that too. And I can stand the correcting. And as you see, I'm a man that I apologize. If I apologize for that video on the Jersey car, if anybody misconstrued it, like I'm saying that the Jersey car was soft or the Jersey car was this and that. No, the Jersey car collected, we're Muslims. It's all Muslims that come together. And it don't matter where you from. You know what I mean? It's where you at with Islam and, you know, in your heart, and you taking your shahada and you following the deen. And if we don't follow the deen, there's, you know, there's reaction to that action, you know, amongst us. And like I said, I'm gonna bring the brothers up here to explain that the same way I got the white brother coming up here to explain the white politics. You know what I mean? Because I want y'all to really hear it from the men. I don't want to be, you know, because like I said, I misspeak. You know what I mean? I misspeak, and you know me, like I said. So y'all understand something. Let me say this for the new people coming in, even the old people that might not understand. I'm from the old school. You know what I mean? And, you know, I'm a 5%. I started off as a 5%er. And so let me give you the history on that. And big shout out to my man Malik, to Dal Bozeman, locked up out in Trenton. You know what I mean? Me and Dal Bozeman became 5%ers way back in the early 70s, in the late 70s, early 80s. You know, late 70s, really, out in Jersey. Now, from us being 5%ers, because you see, I see everybody now yelling peace God, and they talking about peace earth, and they saying this and that. No disrespect to them. Let me just say this. Now, I started off being a 5%. I got my 5% flag tattooed on my arm from I was like 15 years old, like 78, 79. You understand what I'm saying? Now, the way I look at it, I'm going to do a whole video on it, but the way my transformation went, and Malik, because Malik, that's Darryl Bozeman I mentioned, big shout out to Ghost be holding him down, official brother from Harlem, because that's how we do, we hold each other down, right? So now we got, the 5%ers. I'm going to give y'all a little bit, and let me know if you want me to do a whole episode to break it down, but I'm going to give it to you. Okay, we believe in the 5%ers. We got the supreme mathematics, the supreme mathematics, the supreme alphabet, and the 12 jewels. Those are the first three steps. Those are the first three lessons that they give you. You know what I mean? For those of y'all that's listening, that's talking about you God body now and would like to be God body, because to me that was just the first step. You know what I mean? Into finding Islam and Allah and going towards the Quran and going towards. You understand what I'm saying? So now, and I want to give the whole lesson. That's why I'm trying to choose my words, because I want to take my time and give you the whole thing. But anyway, you got the supreme mathematics, supreme alphabet. The three mathematics is, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, freedom, power, refinement, equality, God, build or destroy, and then be or born and cipher. You know what I mean? And that's how we talk. You understand what I'm saying? So y'all understand what I'm saying. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, freedom, power, refinement, equality, God, build or destroy, and then be or born. You understand? And then you have a complete cipher. If y'all didn't understand that, rewind that. But you see the way I said that? Because, we hit the 5%, the 5% lessons came about because that was to save the babies. You know what I mean? Because at that time when, I'm talking about back with Malcolm X and all that back in the 60s. At that time, the elderly dudes in their 20s and 30s and things like that, and even older, they was out there committing everything wrong under the sun, like Malcolm X said himself. You know what I mean? He was sniffing heroin, sniffing coke, you know what I mean? Correct me if it was heroin too, but I know he was getting high. You know what I mean? And pimping white women and putting perm in his hair and eating pig. You understand what I'm saying? And then when he went to prison and, he got into Islam and all that, and then he came out there, and this is the whole lesson. I don't want to give it, but I just want to keep it. Let me get back to where I'm at, so don't mind me. So then now, it went to teach the babies, so that's why it's called the supreme mathematics, because they gave us math. You know what I mean? And they showed us that math, is numerological, which is just numbers. So then they gave us the alphabet, the supreme alphabet. A for Allah, B for B, C for C, D for divine, E for equality. And each letter has a word meaning. And then you study those words, going, you could be able to spell by that. Now, each word in the alphabet also has a number. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4, you know what I mean? E is 5, and so on and so on. And you put those numbers together, and that's how you talk. So now y'all say I talk fast and New Yorkers talk fast, because we came from that era. From that era, we spoke supreme mathematics. You understand? Supreme mathematics, like I said, is knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, freedom, power, refinement, equality, God, be a born, build or destroy, be a born. And then you have cipher. You know what I mean? So the same way I said that is the same way that you speak wild words coming out your mouth like a sweet current flow of the ocean, and you know how to soothe, you understand what I'm saying? And stimulate the mind, of others with these sweet current flows that we're giving you to elevate you to the next level. You understand? So you say, yeah, we salesmen, we this and we that. No, because we came from the supreme mathematics. You know what I mean? So when I speak, I might speak fast and, as y'all call it, but that's just the way we speak. You understand? So, we don't have to, no disrespect, and dumb it down, But nowadays they got the drill where they put the writing on the screen and they do all that. Hit the like button, man, the subscribe button. Hit the like and the subscribe, man. If y'all getting something from these Jews, you already know what to do. The Cash App on the thing, man. And don't complain about me saying Cash App, because this is what it is. You know what I mean? Everything is a business. This is how we survive. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, I got to go out and buy these damn shirts. So it ain't just for equipment. Every day I got to get a different shirt so I look good to represent you. So when you show your nieces, nephews, or your homeboys, man, I've been following this dude, Unique Mecca Audio. You don't want them to say, damn, that nigga look like a bum. Look at him all ashy. He need a shave. You know what I mean? His collar dirty. You know what I mean? You don't want him saying that. So you make sure your man looking good. That's why when you go to church and you see the man in the church, you make sure you put in the pulpit to make sure he can have the church secure, which is the equipment that we have here, and you have that that. So I'm just trying to teach you all the whole thing and enlighten you about the way it go. Now, it might be fast, but that's because we're dealing with the supreme mathematics, and we already know that knowledge, wisdom, understanding, you know what I mean, born culture, freedom, and that's how we got into Islam. But like I said, once I learned, you know, the supreme mathematics, the supreme alphabet, the 12 jewels, you know, that led me into Islam. That led me into Islam. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to get off of this topic for y'all to understand, because I've been seeing a lot of people on YouTube saying peace God, peace Lord, and all that. Now, when a 5%er say that he's God, he's not saying that he's God over the whole universe. That was a big, you know, contradiction. And people used to get, you know, back in the days, you know what I mean? Saying he's God of his universe. You know what I mean? That he has a sun, moon, and a star. You know what I mean? He's the sun, the moon is his woman, and the star is his child. That's his universe. That's what this universe that we're living in consists of. You know what I mean? So Clarence 13X came and he told us that, you know, we have, you know, that we're God and that we control, you know, our universe. That means we control our woman, you know, ourselves first, our women, and then our children. That's the sun, moon, and star. You know what I mean? The sun shines the light on the moon so that when the sun is resting, the moon is reflecting the light on the sun, and the sun is continuously growing and it becomes greater, you know what I mean? Or equivalent to the sun. You understand what I'm saying? That's why it's power refinement is number 5, then 6 is equality, and then 7 is God. You understand what I'm saying? Because from equality becomes God. But they had to give that to the babies because that to me, the way it transformed in my life, that's what led me to Islam. Because as I went on, I'm like, okay, well, I'm God of my universe, which is my man, me, my woman, and my child. So, you know what I mean? Who's God of the whole universe? It has to be a greater power. You know what I mean? So from all my studying, I'm like, you know, okay, so I'm God of my universe. So who's God of this universe? And that's what led me to Islam. And that's why I took my Shahada. So I took it like, you know, the 5% lessons, and, you know, that's what prepared me. You know what I mean? That prepared me for Islam and the Quran for me to take my Shahada instead of running around saying that I'm God. You understand what I'm saying? So when somebody say peace God, he's just saying peace God to another brother that's in charge of his universe and he has knowledge of self. You understand what I'm saying? That's all it is. He's not saying peace God, he's God of the universe. You understand what I'm saying? So let's get that right. Just like, you know, just I'm going to do a whole joint on it because I don't want to get in that too much. Where we been at, man? Damn, I've been on here 32 minutes. I've been just rambling with y'all. But I hope y'all paying attention, man. Hit the like button. Definitely subscribe. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe so that we can get these numbers right, because I'm watching the analytics and I'm learning and I'm growing and I'm doing what I got to do. You know what I mean? So, you know, it is what it is, man. Just tap in, pay attention. I'm going to try and get this up to you. So I'm about to end this, you know. But if you got any questions about anything I said or anything you'd like me to speak on, put it in the comments. And like I said, I'm going to, I may do a whole, you know, show, you know, breaking down the 5% lessons and, you know, so on like that. But from that, you know, that led me, because I was one of the babies that was on my way to being lost and was lost, you know, in the wilderness of North America at that time, that needed to begin as a 5%er, as a nation of Islam and so on, and then elevate to realize that there is a God. That's Allah. That's the power. That's the deity that governs everything here. That's who puts everything here. You know what I mean? But I was raised, you know, and like I said, under the 5% nation that I'm God and I'm Allah and I'm this and I'm that. No, I'm not God. You know, I'm just God over my universe. That's it. I'm not God over, you know what I mean, your universe and your table and this and that. No, I'm, you know, that, you know, you use terminology. When we say God, so that's like saying I'm the father of the house. You know what I mean? I'm the father of the house. It's me, my wife, and my children. So I'm the father of the house. You know what I mean? I'm the God in the house. You understand what I'm saying? I'm the light in the house. I'm the sun in the house. You follow me? The sun meaning the sun that shines the light, you know? And then, you know, my woman is my moon. You know what I mean? Because she's going to reflect, because that's all the moon is. It reflects the light onto the stars. So the knowledge, the light that I give my woman, she's going to reflect it onto my stars, which is my seeds that came from my loins. That's my children that's going to grow up to also have their own, family to be their own God of their own universe. So when we say peace, God is saying peace, God is like the Father. That's like, what's up, Father? Because that's what they called Clarence 13X, Father Divine and all that. You know what I mean? I know a lot of y'all didn't even study, but like I said, no disrespect to none of y'all, but that's where it is. So, but I want to bring, I'm definitely going to bring some of the, my old Sahabas up here, the Muslim brothers, so that they can break this down further to you. So I'm going to put that together, and we're going to have a show with that so y'all understand, because like I said, in the administration, they try and make, the Muslims a gang. The Muslims is not a gang. You know what I mean? The Muslims is not a gang. They follow the Quran and the Sunnah. That's it. I'm gonna bring the brothers up here so they can explain that. You know what I mean? A little further. But again, I apologize for anybody that misconstrued it. But I don't even know. Like I said, I just be talking, from memory. You understand what I'm saying? So, your memory might have slipped here, slipped there, whatever. And, then I talk fast. So, like I did the Kirk Bone thing. Big shout out to Kirk Bone TV in DC. I did the Kirk Bone thing, and I was telling them about we had to watch it with the calculator on the watch. I'm going to talk fast because this is the way we talk. So we speed this up. We get this right. We're talking about the calculators on the watch and the calculators being on the watch. So now we out there selling drugs. And let's say it's $24 a gram, $25 a gram. You'll do $25. So you say 25 times, 150 if a dude want 150 grams. Then you don't have to stop to add it up. You look in the thing. The same way now you got your phone, you do everything with your phone. But back then we had a little calculator watch called a Casio and then some off-brand joints. You know what I mean? But you add that up, you do that. So I was talking about back in the day, and I said, you take 250 grams and you times that by 23 or 24, whatever it is. And I must have gave a number. I don't even remember, because like I said, I just talk the talk to just let it be known to keep it going, because I'm thinking that you keeping up, and I keep forgetting that this is YouTube and everybody look for little flaws and things to nitpick at, and I'm not into all that. So then somebody put in the comments, said, he was off $1. Yeah, but dude, what the hell are you talking about? That's why I got a calculator watch. You know what I mean? To make sure, because I already know that I'm going to be off $1. Might be off $10. So I don't want to be off $10. So I use the calculator watch. So if I'm sitting there and I'm telling you about, I was using the calculator watch so that I can, add up, things faster when I'm selling that weight on the street. But I'm using that calculator watch to do that. And that's how we used to do it, because we was repping this and flashing back and things like that. So now when that goes on, somebody put in the comment, he was off $1. Dude, I didn't have my calculator watch. That's why I said I needed my calculator watch. You know what I mean? But it's just funny that YouTube is the thing where they just go with everybody like that, man. Look for things to nitpick and try and make themselves look bigger than the next person and try and make the next person look lower and things like that. But like I said, man, big shout out to my Jersey car, my New York car, my Philly car, my DC car, Virginia, North Carolina, because we all run together under the umbrella of Islam, man. You know what I mean? And the law got us. And like I said, once I let myself go, and y'all tell that to the youngins that's locked up, you know what I mean? To the youngins that's locked up or on the way to be locked up, you know what I mean? They have to, they have to let themselves go and embrace something. You know what I mean? I say embrace Islam. You know what I mean? I embrace Islam, made me a better man. The people, listen, I called him my old head. You know what I mean? That's why I used to call him back then when I was young, wild, and ignorant. I used to call him my old head. I talked to my old head, Shakur, and I haven't talked to him since Lewisburg. And I got, man, listen, if y'all think these stories, I could sit here for hours telling you these stories and kicking it, but I'm going to give you one, kick a whole nother story. Y'all remind me about this one. I'm going to tell you how thorough my old head is. I'm going to tell you how thorough my old head is. I done went to the police, tore the unit up. He all the way to the other side of jail. Just give me the short version. He all the way to the other side of jail, locked in a one-man cell by himself, minding his business. I'm down there in an open dorm with like 4 beds in a room, you know what I mean? And I'm tearing the joint up. Me and my little homies down there, we terrorizing Lewisburg. That was the riot of 1995. I can look back and laugh at it now, but it done bust my teeth out with an axe handle, swole my nuts up this big, broke 2 of my ribs, set me up to 80. Well, left me handcuffed and tied up in the basement for 17 hours. Then after handcuffed and tied up 17 hours, they finally, my man Brown Bay, I got to give the Brown Bay story. Somebody kept asking my Brown Bay. My man Brown Bay from D.C., because like I said, we all run together, Muslims. You understand what I'm saying? Muslims. So even though I'm from New York, he's from D.C. You understand what I'm saying? But we was all Muslims. You know what I mean? So, he went and got me help so that they could find me handcuffed and shackled in the basement where I was at for 18 hours to give me the medical help that I needed so that I could be here to tell you this today. If it wasn't for Brown Bear, I would have died in Lewisburg, man, and they would have said it was natural cause from the beating, that I deserve, but it is what it is. Like I said, man, I really want to make sure y'all check out that joint, where I get hit in the head with a lot. You know what I mean? Because like I said, everything happened. But that's when I was running around as a savage, and that's where Islam, when I embraced Islam, I didn't put myself in those type of situations anymore, because now I'm letting the law lead me instead of me trying to lead the way. And I'm just as blind as these dark glasses that I'm wearing on my face. And that's why, Islam is the light that led me to the law library, led me to the psychology department, led me to the education department, led me to the school department to get a trade where I became a plumber, electrician, certified cook, HVAC and refrigeration, electrician. I learned it all because, Allah led me to where I needed to go to get where I needed to be, where He wanted to be when, He felt I needed to be there. Every day I used to make salah. I used to be like, oh, Lord, please help me so that, my children is all right. I name my children, and so that, I'll be released. But I always said, when you deem it's appropriate and I'm ready to be released to take care of my family and loved ones. And He picked 2022, and I'm here, and I'm down here doing my thing. And I've been on here long enough. I like just chopping it up. But anyway, now I didn't get to, you see what I'm saying? How so much in my mind. But like I said, my old head, Shakur, he winds up, he down there in the cell locked up by himself. I'm down there terrorizing the police, stabbing the police, running wild, me and my man, Mike Waggett, all of us doing our thing. So now, they winds up locking him up, saying that he was controlling us and telling us what to do while he's locked in his cell. We at the other end of the jail. They tried to make it like if he had telepathy and was pulling our strings as the younger brothers to do that, when they know that, Shakur's the one that kept the peace with the brothers. Like when, the situation happened with the Jersey car, the dudes had to check in so they could get things right, because you can't put your hands on a Muslim because the Muslim blood is sacred. Even another Muslim can't put their hands on a Muslim. You understand that? Now, pick a gang that's going to say that. And, the Muslims, you can't put your hand on another Muslim because the Muslim blood is sacred, and they honor that. They honor that. You understand what I'm saying? So, that's what that is. So they don't think that when I say that the Jersey car checked in, because like I said, I left it because I forget that a lot of y'all don't know, and I got to enlighten you step by step. You know what I mean? No, it wasn't like because they definitely not no cowards out, out in Jersey. You know what I mean? They put their work in. You know what I mean? They don't help me down. I'm going to give you a story how, some of my good brothers from Jersey helped me down. But, we're going to keep it going what it is. I've been on here 42, 43 minutes, man, just kicking it and rocking it. But I got Shakur sent up there to ADX, man. That's where I was going at with it. You see, I'm all over the place. Like I said, look at me like I'm your old uncle telling you this old crazy-ass war story from back in the day. I got Shakur sent up to ADX. If y'all want to hear the story about how I got Shakur sent up to ADX, you know what I mean? This old man, this was the Imam. The Imam went to ADX behind my actions, before I even became a Muslim. I wasn't even a Muslim at the time. He was just trying to help guide me and lead me in the right way to become a Muslim, to embrace Islam, to embrace the Quran, to embrace the Sunnah. But I didn't want to hear it back then. But they wound up setting him like if he was controlling me when he locked in another cell and I wasn't even Muslim. Just like, some of the brothers that's in this, at the time, they was young too, just like me. And then here we go now. We old men 30 years later, and now we know and we live by that a Muslim blood is sacred, and, only one could judge us is Allah. And when we wrong, we say we wrong. That's what being a good Muslim is. When we wrong, we say we wrong. Like one of the first things I learned when I took my Shahada, and I studied, because I was, hustling in the joint, had money and all of that, which I wasn't supposed to be, but we all got vices. You know what I mean? But I got money, so if a brother came to me to get something, my old head would tell me, my Sahaba would tell me, any business transaction you do under the Sunnah, you're supposed to have a contract. no matter who it is, so there's no dispute on what was said when the transaction was taken across, because the person say whatever to get your money, then when it's time to pay your money, he's going to switch things around. So that's why they say that you're supposed to have a contract for everything. These are the things that I learned in Islam from my old head. Big shout out to Shakur, my man Mo Gary. You know what I mean? Big shout out to the homies. Big shout out to the homies. But I've been on here long enough. Y'all be wanting me to give you a little longer video, so I'm your old uncle. I've been on here 45 minutes. I'm about to tap out. Let's hope these people don't sit there and mess with this video, because if they mess with the video, then I'm going to drop the one about me getting boop in the head. So you're going to see one or the other first. Make sure you watch the New Year's celebration that I got celebrating the New Year's with the Harlem Legends, man. Make sure you check that video out, because it's official, they official, and big shout out to everybody, and Assalamu alaikum. Hi
guys, welcome to Platinum Cuisines. We're located in Freeport on the Nautical Mile. Just wanted to introduce my partner Amy.
Hi guys, how are you? And this is my sister-in-law Diana, another partner. I just ask that you come support our minority-owned business. We serve Asian fusion, Caribbean cuisine, and we have a beautiful restaurant located on the Nautical Mile in Freeport, New York. And we're asking that you come check us out, and also make sure to tune in to Mecca Audio TV.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime. Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca Audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be whoring uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, you we got a lot to give. Now